Tuesday here on NBA TV, you'll see the Trailblazers and the Oklahoma City Thunder at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. It's a players-only edition. Coverage starts at 7:30 Eastern Time. Will you two be here?
We will be here.
Yeah,
we'll be doing that game.
I figured as much. That's why I asked.
Players only, baby.
That's 3D's line. I think it's copyrighted, probably, right?
It should be.
Yeah. Russell Westbrook and the OKC Thunder in New York on the holiday. And the Thunder won this game in the first quarter. Spoiler alert, they won the game.
Yeah, they won in the first quarter. Like you said, they came out, and boy, the Knicks defense was very porous to start this off. And then OKC built up a big lead, and then never really got threatened after that. Like there's no way Nerlens Noel go from the three-point line.
No, that's easy.
In dunk, someone's got to foul him.
Paul George had 13 in the first quarter. The Knicks as a team had 16 in the first quarter, if that tells you anything. And then the Thunder close out the half. Westbrook, then PG. Westbrook 17 points, 10 boards, 9 assists on the game. Third quarter, kind of more of the same.
Yeah, the Knicks' inability to control the ball handler. Every time down court, the ball handler was able to penetrate, get into the middle or the teeth of their defense, was able to dish, make plays, and consequently, OKC had a good night in the Garden.
We didn't find a single Knicks highlight to put in there.
Well, they were in the highlights. They were all on the defensive
positive
side,
highlight. They've lost 6 in a row, 9 straight now as OKC gets the win, 127-109. Russ, an assist shy of a triple-double. Talked about the difference today with Rebecca Harlow. OKC now 10 games over 500 on the season. If the Thunder are going to make some noise come playoff time, what's going to be the key to making that happen?
They have to keep defending the way they are. And I think they got to get a little bit smarter on offense. We talked about, do they need to add another shooter at the trade deadline? I don't know if they'll be able to go out and acquire one, but if they can't go out and acquire one, then offensively they got to become much more efficient. They got to have better shot selection, and they got to keep defending the way they're defending.
You know, what I like about them is tonight, Russell Westbrook took 12 shots. It controlled the game. He had 10 rebounds, 9 assists. When you can go out there and control the game with 12 shots, that's the way I like to see him play. I don't like the Russ 8 for 32 nights where he just keeps shooting and that. Yeah, I just don't like that. I like when he's like his shot's been kind of funky this year, so he's not pushing it as much. He's not pushing that shot threshold up into the high teens, mid-20s all the time. He's deferring more, and I think this gives him a better chance. When you're that efficient, think about it, Zeke. He takes 12 shots, it has 10 rebounds and 9 assists. That's controlling the whole flow of the game, plus defending.
Yes.
And all the deflections and steals and stuff. So I like this new version of what I'm seeing in Oklahoma City. Interesting to me when the playoffs start. Does the old Russ come back in, bright lights, hey, I got to take over? Right. Or does he just kind of say, okay, Schroeder's been making shots. Paul George is our go-to guy. Get Adams some stuff, and I'm just going to play basketball. It seemed to me he was pressing the scoring margins, trying to maybe lead the league in scoring and stuff. Now he's just looking to get wins, and I like the let's just go win Russell Westbrook.
It's interesting. He's averaging about 10 fewer points than the last of his 2 scoring titles a couple of seasons ago. He's also one of the worst three-point shooters among guys who routinely take threes in the entire league right now. But he's able to do all those other things in part because Paul George has been their leading scorer this year and kind of their go-to guy down the stretch.
Well, the one thing that point guards learn in this league, if you want to win championships, right, you can't win championships by maxing out in these categories, right? The way you're going to win championships is to get everybody involved and play as a team. And your point production will go down, but your assist numbers will go up. Your teammates will be happier, right? And you become a better defender. That's how point guards win in this league. Big guys, on the other hand, they win by a different formula. And I think what Russ has figured out right now is how to win as a point guard in this league. We always measured ourselves, the great point guards, you always measure yourself by how many shots did I have to take to control the game? Magic Johnson was brilliant at it because he could take 8 shots and control a game. You know, but if as a point guard, that number was anywhere from 13 to 15 shots a night. And if you took 13 to 15 shots
when Michael Jordan was really scoring, I said, you know, Larry and Magic could control the game taking 12 shots. If you got Michael to take 12 shots, you controlled him.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and I said it was completely different how they play. And I agree with you. I think as Russell Westbrook's shots come down, his team's field goal percentage can go up, because rather than forcing 4 or 5 of those shots, all of a sudden now he's driving in there, where before he'd be taking some, you know, running 9-footers and stuff like that. He kicks it out, and those guys are not
crazy shots.
Crazy shots. Crazy shots. Why didn't I think of that? That's what I said. He was taking crazy shots. Now he's making passes, and guys are taking, you know, nice, got my feet set, knocking down jumpers for him.
OKC gets the win today in New York. Meanwhile, across the river in Brooklyn, it's the Nets 123-94 over the Sacramento Kings. 31 for D'Angelo Russell, back-to-back 30-point games for him. Joe Harris had 19, 3 of 4 from three-point range for the third leading three-point shooter in the NBA by percentage. And Joe Harris is with us here on Game Time after I'm told some wrangling with the headset. Is that the case, Joe?
Oh, yeah, we got it working now, though. We're all good.
Okay, good.
Joe, you got to shave that beard. That beard's probably getting in the way. All that gruff, it's hard to work around.
I got to trim it up a little bit.
Okay. You know what? All right, I like it.
You know what? I'm a beard advocate now, so I'm all over the beard. Looks good on you.
Hey, yours is clean, though. I got to clean mine up a little bit.
Question for you, because you've been there, what is your third season now in Brooklyn. At what point, maybe this season or even over the longer haul that you've been there, did your outlook on this team go from, hey, we're a bunch of guys who are kind of getting second chances in many cases, trying to find our spot in the league, to, hey, we can make the playoffs and we're a good team?
Yeah, I think you look at us at the beginning of the season, you know, obviously a lot of guys making steps in just individual development. We had some good veteran pieces. And then we just talk about, you know, being a part of the process, you know, trying to get better day in and day out. And we're all, you know, believers in what Kenny, Sean, everybody's trying to preach here in Brooklyn. And there's just, you know, a total buy-in. And obviously, you know, we've had guys that have really stepped up big and improved a lot. You know, D'Angelo's been playing great for us all year. You know, Spencer, I mean, you could go down the list. Everybody, it's a collective effort every night. You know, we don't have necessarily that superstar talent, but we play really well together on both ends of the ball.
Joe, when you talk about, you know, Kenny and Mark and that buy-in that you have there, you know, what did you guys do collectively to help D'Angelo when he came from the Lakers to Brooklyn, to get his confidence back, to get him playing at this level? What did all of you do as teammates to help him get to this level, and why did you believe in him?
I think, I mean, first off, you know, he comes to us, and we all know that he's an unbelievable talent and capable of, you know, playing the way that he has and shown this year. But I think for him, you know, just individually, being around, you know, Kenny, veteran players, guys that believe in him, you know, are helping him show the ropes, kind of learn to be a pro. The day in and day out, you know, we talk about being deliberate in your practice and consistent in your habits, and you know, he's bought in just like everybody else around here. And you know, you can see the improvement. You can see him, you know, just getting more and more confidence. And you know, here's the byproduct of it now.
Joe, you're looking so comfortable at that three-point line. You're shooting almost 48% now after 3 for 4 today. Just talk to me about the league right now and the amount of threes that are being shot and how it just kind of fits you and your team in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I come into the league at a pretty good time for shooters. You know, I'm fortunate to be in the NBA when there is a precedent put on, you know, shooting threes. And, you know, you look at our team here in Brooklyn, and, you know, we value the three-point line a lot. You know, the other night, I think we set an NBA record. We played against Houston, just combined threes in the game. And you know, not to say that we live and die by it. Obviously, we're kind of taking the game as it comes. But, you know, when it boils down to it, you know, Kenny, the staff, they really believe in guys taking open threes, making the right play. And, you know, obviously, I'm a byproduct of that system, and I'm lucky to play in a system that puts a precedent on shooting threes.
Hey, Joe, how upset does the coaching staff get when you take that three and you're about a foot in front of the three-point line? What does your coach think about that shot?
I'm not even testing the waters there. I know my boundaries. I'm strictly shooting threes, and then I'm opportunistic with my drives. If I can get something going to the rim, great. But I'm not messing around anywhere else.
Atta baby, good job, man. Way to know your game, bud.
Fourth straight win for the team that, for my money, plays the most entertaining games in the league. You guys have been so much fun to watch. Congratulations. Keep the beard. Keep the strokes and keep it moving forward in Brooklyn.
Keep playing hard.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Joe Harris with us here on Game Time. Much more to get to on the other side. Check in on more highlights from around the league, including the Pistons and the Wiz.
Games, let's say it one more time. He's averaging 40 over the last 21. That last loss against the Nets, Harden scored 58. He scored at least 30 in 18 straight games. He'll look to continue that streak against the Lakers tonight at 8. What's been most impressive about what he's doing?
I think being in shape. People say, that sounds too easy. Well, you have to, and Boozer, you know this, you have to be in a certain kind of shape to put these kind of numbers up every night. I remember Tracy McGrady said it one day with Paul George, when you become that next level superstar, your legs have to be in a certain type of condition because you have to do it every night. It was like we were teasing about Kuzma. He got to 42 and then kind of fell off for a couple games and he got back hot again. He was like, wow, it is hard to get 42 every night. So now when you watch James Harden do it, you're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
After coming back from an injury this season to get his legs back in his condition to perform the way he is.
And what's even more impressive to me is that, think about it, he's the #1 thing on the paper when you're trying to stop the Houston Rockets.
Right.
And he's still putting up these kind of numbers. It's very impressive what he's doing.
Well, Mike D'Antoni says Chris Paul will return sometime next week. This week, the Rockets also lost Clint Capella 4 to 6 weeks following thumb surgery. So how much of these injuries are starting to mount up for this team that makes Harden's run even more ridiculous when you're considering he's not getting help from other guys?
Yeah, he's carrying the load, man. I mean, obviously with CP being out, that hurts a lot. Capella being out, especially with rebounding and someone that dives to the hoop, gets the easy lobs and alley-oop dunks. It makes James Harden's job that much more harder, but he's doing it. He's performing, he's carrying that team, he's getting some help from Eric Gordon. You know, Gerald Green's playing very well. Other guys can step up as well, but it's pretty much all on James Harden's shoulders.
Yeah, defensively it's going to be interesting to see how they play good team defense without Capella. Offensively, James has proven that he can hold down the fort till Chris Paul gets healthy. But now with Capella, who's going to be that rim protector? Who's going to get those big rebounds he was showing us this season?
Well, that's an interesting question because according to multiple reports, Kenneth Faried is that guy. Now, here's a thing that's just concerning about him. He's played 44 games over the last 2 years, and he's not hurt. Why is that?
Because he hasn't been in Brooklyn's rotation, or should I say plan. He wasn't in Denver's plan. Once Jokic and Nurkic came on, we talked about in the meeting, he had just got that big contract. He said he saw the writing on the wall. He gets to Brooklyn, Kenny Atkinson said he's just not a part of the rotation, so that's what happened. But I will give him credit. He hasn't complained. He hasn't been a bad apple in the locker room. He's been going about his business. Now he's about to get bought out and possibly, go to Houston to all the conversation. If that happens, he will bring energy. That's how he made his name in this NBA, of running the floor, getting loose balls, rebounding, setting good screens, and rolling to the basket.
And speaking of situations, you're a guy that understands it depends as a big what your situation is. For him to play with a guy like James Harden, look, he's averaged 13 points in his career. He's averaged 9 rebounds in a season in his career. Can he get back to that form? He's still just 29.
Well, Houston's going to hope he does. He's very young. He's very fresh. He doesn't have a lot of miles on his legs right now. And the hope for Faried is, like 3D said, he brings energy. There's always room for a guy that brings energy and effort. And if he can continue to run the floor hard, set good screens, roll to the hoop for alley-oops, play good defense, rebound the basketball, he can help that team out.
Keeping with our theme of teams missing their key players, there's none bigger than one LeBron James for the Los Angeles Lakers, right? Well, they come into tonight against Houston riding a 2-game win streak. The Lakers actually 5-7 overall without LeBron now. That includes wins in 4 of their last 6. Of the young Lakers who seemingly are growing through this experience over the past couple of games, who's growing the most to you?
Kyle Kuzma has been cooking. You look at his numbers throughout the stretch, 26 points, 7 rebounds, playing very well. Me and 3D talked about it last night with you, Chris. He plays downhill. He's a runner. He takes advantage of his opportunities. He shoots the ball from a pretty solid clip from the three-point line. He makes his free throws, and he's getting more consistent. And that's the big thing for me with him, because he can pick and pop. He can roll to the hoop. On defense, he can play the 2, 3 to 4, sometimes the 5, depending on who he's going against. So for him in his second year to be averaging 19 points and doing what he's doing, trying to hold that fort down offensively, doing a great job.
I think for that OKC game was Alonzo Ball for me, and to hear him say that I'm playing with more confidence, I'm playing more aggressive now that LeBron's down on the floor. He's used to having the ball in his hand. So I'm saying to myself, guys, if Alonzo can play with this type of aggression and this type of focus and this type of confidence when LeBron comes back, then LeBron can say, okay, maybe I can take this quarter off because I know Zoe's going to do all the right things to keep things going. If I come out the game, we're up 10, I come back in, we're up 14 because Zoe is playing confident basketball. That's what I like when I saw the OKC game.
All right, focusing on this matchup, the Lakers have also lost to the Rockets twice, and that's with LeBron, and that's by an average of 12 points. All right, and James Harden scored 50 the last time these two teams went head-to-head. Can we expect the Lakers to be able to compete in this one? Chris Paul out, Clint Capella out, that's different. But can they compete against James Harden, the bearded one, the way that they're currently constructed without LeBron on the court?
Well, I think what Luke Walton will try to do is to tap in what we saw in the OKC game the other night. The question is, when James Harden gets cooking, does your enthusiasm get taken out of you because now how do you slow him down? You know, on the flip side is you have to get some stops to get some easy offense to get your confidence going on the offensive side of the ball.
I think something else I like that they did the other game was where they had Ingram playing the point, almost like a point forward.
Yes.
That helps them offensively, get guys involved, make plays for each other. So we'll probably see more of that tonight.
LeBron will be cleared to practice next week. Lakers have Golden State on Monday, Timberwolves on Thursday, the Suns on Sunday. When you look at those games and you think of LeBron coming back, when do you foresee him being able to get back on the court if he's just now starting to practice on Monday?
Knowing LeBron, Booz, you've been around him before. If LeBron really wanted to play, I think tomorrow, if we had to, he would. But I think there's being smart just to make sure. So a practice or two, and if Brian said he's ready, then he'll be back on the floor.
Yeah, LeBron's done a great job with his body. As you guys know, he barely ever misses any games, as we've seen throughout his career. I'll leave it up to him. You know, I think if I'm one of his teammates, he knows his body better than anybody else at this stage in his career, does a good job of taking care of it, works out every day. And when he's ready, he'll be back out there. And when he does get back out there, the wins will start going like this. Yeah.
And if you go this, right, because the Lakers in the standings, they were doing this before their recent win streak, winning 4 of their last 6. Does that take the pressure off LeBron to come back when, okay, the young guys are handling this right now, they're staying afloat, they've won 4 of 6, as opposed to, oh, wow, we're falling, we're almost out of the playoff picture in the Western Conference?
I think it's the other way around, where when things were struggling, it might have been some pressure that maybe I come back a little sooner. They win a couple, and now I want to get back now while they're playing well to feed off the good confidence and the good play. Versus they're struggling, it's like, LeBron, come save us. No, now we found our stride. Now we found our confidence. Now come back to your point. Now let's really ride this wave and go that way. I think he's looking at it that way.
Yeah, I agree 100% because now these guys have stepped up. Kuzma's playing better. You know, Alonzo Ball's playing better. Ingram's being a playmaker and doing more things. Then you bring LeBron, who's an MVP candidate, back into the fold and gives them a chance to get even more boosted, hopefully climb a little bit up in this Western Conference standings.
That makes a lot of sense. It'll be interesting to see how the Lakers perform tonight against the Houston Rockets and how they look when LeBron James comes back. Certainly something to be excited about. Russell Westbrook in